929 Tanach together, Genesis 5. And Methuselah begat Lamech. Genealogies are tricky. And here we have 10 generations from Adam all the way to Noach. And it looks really neat. It looks like this straight line from the first man to the man that's going to get us out of the pickle that the first man got us into. However, genealogies are always selective. We like to remember our ancestors that did great things, that participated in historical events, and forget the others. This is my great-great-grandfather, Don Valeriano Marulanda Arango. He was the mayor of the town. He was a big deal, and I always remembered him. But if we do the math, every person has 32 great-great-grandparents. That is, unless you come from my region of Colombia, in which everybody's related, and the number decreases substantially. But still, mathematically, I have a point. If we try to go in our own personal histories 10 generations back, like our chapter does, we're going to be somewhere in the beginning of the 18th century. No countries that we know today exist back then. And barring cases of endogamy, you have 1,032 ancestors in the 10th generation. You don't know most of their names. You don't know most of their stories. And yet, take out one person in that story and you, or myself or anyone, is not here. They cannot exist. Today, there's a lot of interest in doing your genetic work, in doing genealogy, finding out where you come from. When we approach this holy work of finding out and, in a way, thanking the people that made it possible for us to be here, let's take something into account. Whether they were important or parenthetical in history, they all did their job. They made it possible for you to exist today. Seek out those voices at the beginning of the 18th century, if you can, that were not necessarily the big deal, that were the peripheral, the misplaced, the refugees, because here is where life imitates art. In our chapter, we get two genealogies to Lamech, who's Noah's father. One starts with Seth, the other starts with Cain. And some people, oh, these are different traditions. No, we are all descendants of sinners and saints, of oppressors and oppressed. In our holy act of memory, when we think of our ancestors, let's not forget those who didn't have fancy names, whose stories are just as central and just as necessary to producing you, me, and the world that we live in.